Hello, my name is Bo Phillips. I'm a Senior Solutions Consultant in Northwest Arkansas. I'd like to take a moment today to talk to you about the Little Rock Data Center and all it has to offer. Arkansas is known for many things. The Arkansas Razorbacks, the Arkansas Diamond, which, by the way, is impervious to the Canadian Hammer, and unbelievable punt returns against Tennessee's School of the Blind, as well as a state-of-the-art data center in Little Rock. This data center is a full-service Tier 3 facility. Our services include co-location, dedicated hardware, and multi-tenant cloud solutions. For the purposes of this video, I'd like to share with you about a vertical that we are making inroads into in Arkansas. This vertical is the startup community. This is a very challenging community as they have different requirements than other businesses since they are in the infancy stage of their business. The key to being successful in the startup vertical is identifying the right customer to target. This is done in phases. Phase 1, we identify these customers through partnerships with universities and local incubators. The second part of this phase is understanding where they are at in the startup process. It doesn't do any good to approach a business if they're not ready to talk to you about the solutions that we're offering. Finally, and the most important part of this phase, is finding out where if their business model will support an operating expense for the services that they will require. Again, this is a very challenging part of the process, but you have to do the groundwork to ensure that you come out successful at the end. Phase 2 of this process is building the relationship with the customer. First of all, it's very important to meet with all the key players, understanding their personal lens, understanding what is driving their need for their businesses. Part 2 of building the relationship is providing feedback to them, helping their business grow through knowledge that we obtain, through relationships that we have in the community already. And thirdly, we want to build a sense of trust and a true partnership with this customer. They are growing. They may not know all the key players in the industry at that time. And what we try to do is to bridge that gap and bring something to the table as a partnership should be, a give and take. The stage of this startup process is designing a solution that's right for the customer. This is done in a very strategic manner, and so you have to take in several things into consideration. First is where they're at today. Second is where they're going to need to go to be successful. And this is where you're going to have to interject and help them design a solution that's going to meet their needs long term. Sometimes as startups, they're very focused on the here and now, and they're not looking down the road far enough. So it's our job to be that partner to help guide them in this process. And finally, how we transition their company from a startup company to a thriving business. So now that you've gone through the process of engaging and building a partnership with these startups, the next part is usually the most difficult part. It's the closing of the deal. This is where everything must come together and the stars must align. A lot of times, you have to drive this conversation. Sometimes the startups, there's a immediate need that they're going to have to fill, and those make it easier. But a lot of times, it's a transition from how they've been doing things and how things have been pieced together in the past, and transiting that over into a position where it is a rock-solid solution, as well as a solution that minimizes a lot of the headaches that go along with being a startup. So in order to do this, you have to leverage the relationships you built, have open conversation with the customer, asking them about deadlines, what happens if you don't move forward with this solution, and also doing a lot of soft closes, like asking them, are we ready to make the move forward with this? Things along those lines. And you have to bring in all of the tools in your tool belt to make this happen. Thank you for your time today. I've enjoyed talking to you about our startup vertical that we're working on here in Arkansas. Today I didn't talk a whole lot about the technologies that surround that startup community and how we're serving that, because each startup community is completely different. But what we did try to communicate to you is those customers tend to already know about the technology. They're cutting edge. They're the younger generation, if you will. But they don't have the business acumen to bring to the table. And that's where I feel like I can plug in and be a valid partner with them, which further separates me from everybody else that is providing similar services to what we're offering. I always do go back to our facilities and our execution of our solutions and our implementation, but for the purposes of this video, I wanted to make it a point to point out that it is more about the mindset that we're bringing to the table of the business acumen. Thank you for your time today, and I wanted to leave you with one last word. Woo Pigs and go Razorbacks. Thank you.